Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Nathan Fox. That's Ben Olson. We are the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We've got an email here from Anonymous.
I hear you speaking frequently about the difference between the sticker price and reality, and I think I have some numbers that will help communicate your point clearly. Okay, using this chunk of data from Nova Southeastern, what do we know about them? Tuition per year per student is $46,000. The total number of students is 523. The number of students receiving grants of less than half tuition is 229. The number of students receiving half to full tuition is 65. The number of students receiving full tuition is 0. Okay, lots of numbers here. The 75th percentile grant is $20,000. The 50th percentile grant is $15,000. And the 25th percentile grant is $10,000. Okay, again, the tuition per year per student is $46,000. So a lot of these grants are less than half.
This is a school that does not give big scholarships. I'm interested in why Anonymous chose this particular school, because this is one of the better behaved schools as far as the price discrimination thing is concerned.
Yeah, well, maybe what happens is if even at a better behaved school, the sticker price is still different, then what does that mean about even worse schools? I don't know. With the following assumptions: full-time only, using the 75th percentile grant for half to full and the 25th percentile grant for less than half. I calculated the average out-of-pocket tuition actually paid per student. I compared these to the grant levels and determined the following. Okay. For each percentile grant, what percentage of the out-of-pocket average are you spending to attend? Using the Nova example above, if you're receiving the 75th percentile grant, which is $20,000, you're paying 67% of the actual average tuition. In other words, you are really just getting a 33% discount off the true average tuition paid. Okay.
So it looks like it's almost a 50% discount off. It's a 50% discount off of the nominal tuition.
Sure.
But what this, I understand the analysis here is it's like, well, but if we price in all the scholarships and we calculate the average tuition actually paid, which maybe should have been done first, but the true average tuition is, really, I get it. Yeah. Okay. Understand.
Yep. Yeah. So the sticker price is not what we should be looking at. We should be looking at the average tuition and then comparing all prices to that.
Yeah.
If you're getting the 50th percentile grant of $15,000, you're paying 79% of the average tuition, meaning you're getting a whopping 21% discount. And if you're getting the 25th percentile grant, which is $10,000, you're paying 92% with your 8% off coupon. Okay, so even when you're getting $10,000 off, you're actually just not getting that much. You're only getting an 8% discount. However, what I refer to as Nate's F factor, if you pay sticker, you are paying 117% of average.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nova is by no means interesting compared to many others. I generated these numbers for a spattering of schools throughout the rankings for you to look at. Another important number I generated from this is what I call Ben's Franklin's. This is the actual amount of out-of-pocket student money generated each year by each school, whether from a wallet or a loan.
Making some big estimates there because they don't report the actual scholarships. They only report these percentile markers. And there are ways that they could manipulate those percentiles.
Totally.
It wouldn't be
you
hard.
Just go a little bit above or a little bit below, depending on what your goal is.
You go way above, right? Like, so it could have been $1 less than full ride for the 76th percentile and above.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everybody who is above the 75th, so 24% of the class could have got not a full tuition scholarship because they're reporting 0 full tuitions, but they report 65 half to fulls. So it could be that everybody up there got damn near full tuition.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next person, the person who's exactly 75th in line, 75th percent in line, got a $20,000 grant.
Yeah.
Now, it's probably not what they did, but they could do that. And you would think that someone savvy, if they wanted to manipulate these numbers, would realize that they could manipulate these numbers however they wanted.
Yeah.
Not however they wanted, within bounds. But, like, you don't really know how many it could be that one person received exactly the 25th percentile grant. It could be one person received the 50th percentile grant, and it could be one person who received the 75th percentile grant. And then they could have wild changes around that. We did hear recently that there's some talk of eliminating the 50th percentile grant from these reports.
Oh, wait, I thought that was the 50th percent GPA and LSAT.
Oh, right. That was GPA and LSAT. They probably want to get rid of this too.
Oh, they would get rid of everything they can, right? Like, let's minimize information. So
I'm sure the law schools would love to get rid of the 509s entirely, right? Like, this is a consumer protection document. This document only exists because the American Bar Association forced it on the schools.
What forced it on the ABA?
Yeah, who knows? I would love to know the legislative history of why we have these 509 reports. Learning that history might give you a lot of perspective about if a listener has that, email us daily at lsatdemon.com if you're interested and you're good at research and you want to go find out how the ABA 509 reports actually came into being. We would love to hear about that. You skipped a paragraph from Anonymous as well. Said, I think this lets us dispense with the MSRP as anything even relevant to financial planning. The percentile grants are not the same as the averages, but the averages aren't available. And I don't think it really matters because the overall size of the numbers will be comparable and gets an accurate point across. But as I just illustrated, be careful making too much of those percentiles because there could be, I get what you're saying. And, maybe they are legitimately giving a lot of $20,000 grants and a lot of $15,000 grants and a lot of $10,000 grants. And maybe you're making some fair assumptions there. You probably are. But it is open to a lot of manipulation. I agree wholeheartedly with the idea that we can just let go of the MSRP. That MSRP is just irrelevant.
Yeah,
like
the challenge
nominal
is,
price.
The challenge with letting go of it is that even when you consciously think you have, subconsciously you have
your brain anchors on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because you're thinking about the number of the scholarship, you should never think about, following this logic, you should ignore the MSRP, you should ignore the discount, and all you should pay attention to is what is the price you're going to charge me. So MSRP minus my scholarship, that's the only relevant number. The scholarship's not a relevant number. The MSRP is not a relevant number.
Yep.
The only relevant number is the number that you're actually going to pay. But they play these games to try to trick you, to make you think you're getting a better deal than you actually are. I appreciate this analysis. And again, this analysis would be worse for many, many schools. Nova doesn't look like they actually they're not giving exorbitant scholarships.
Yeah. To illustrate, I think what you're saying, Nathan, with numbers so that people get it on another level is that if a school is charging $60,000 and they give you a $50,000 scholarship, so many people are going to write into the show and say, well, I got $50K at this school, but that's going to cost you $10,000. That's no different than another school that says, hey, we charge $25,000 and we just gave you a $15,000 scholarship.
Right.
People are going to feel like that second deal is worse, but it's not. It's exactly the same.
I'm looking at Anonymous's actual sheet where they did the same analysis for a bunch of other schools. And maybe we'll figure out how to publish this on our website or on the podcast or something. But like Wash U, my eye went right to Wash U. They gave so many scholarships that if you got the 50th percentile grant, you were actually paying 175% of the average that people paid.
Yikes. That's pretty bad.
Because if you got Yeah, if you're at the 75th percentile, you were actually paying 84% of the average price paid because there were so many full rides.
Wow.
That's really interesting. Yeah. Careful, y'all. It's hazardous out there. Email daily at lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.